I struggled to find life-changing opportunities until I learned this truth: poor people who say these 8 things stay poor. In a world often obsessed with outward appearances and public declarations, there's quiet power in discretion. We're constantly encouraged to share, to connect, to broadcast our lives, but what if true strength and even prosperity lie in knowing what not to reveal? Beyond the hype and the headlines, ancient wisdom and modern experience converge on a crucial lesson: what you don't tell people, especially when you find yourself lacking fortune or facing hardship, can be your greatest asset. Revealing certain things, even to those closest to you, can invite trouble, misunderstanding, and even exploitation. Some secrets, if carelessly shared, can have far-reaching, negative consequences, potentially disrupting relationships and derailing your progress. This isn't about being secretive or untrustworthy, it's about discernment, self-preservation, and understanding the complexities of human nature. Let's explore 8 crucial things you should think twice before sharing, particularly when you're navigating life's challenges with limited resources. 1. The true state of your financial situation. Let's start with the most obvious, yet often overlooked, secret: your money. Or lack thereof. There's a timeless tale about an old blacksmith in a small town. He lived simply, his forge producing just enough to keep tea in his pot and food on his table. By all appearances, he was modestly, perhaps even poorly, off. One day, an antique dealer passed by and noticed the old teapot the blacksmith used. Its dark glaze and elegant shape hinted at its origins. The seller, recognizing it as a masterpiece by a famous Qing dynasty craftsman, paid a whopping sum, 30,000 yuan, equivalent to several thousand US dollars, for it. The blacksmith was stunned. This was a simple teapot, a family heirloom used for generations. He refused, citing its sentimental value. But that night, sleep evaded him. The immense value placed on his humble teapot awakened a disquiet he'd never known. Before, he'd used it without a second thought. Now, every slight noise made him jump up to check if it was safe. The disruption didn't stop there. Word got out in the village that the old man had a treasure. Villagers started visiting, ostensibly to chat, but really to see if he had other valuables, or perhaps to subtly ask for loans. His own children began eyeing the teapot, calculating their potential inheritance. His peaceful life crumbled under the weight of perceived wealth. When the antique dealer returned, doubling his offer to 60,000 yuan, the blacksmith made a dramatic choice. Calling his neighbors together, he raised his hammer and, before their eyes, smashed the teapot into pieces. Peace returned to his life, and the story goes he lived to be over 100 years old. Most people hearing this might focus on the dramatic act of destruction. But the twist reveals the true wisdom: the blacksmith didn't destroy the real teapot. He had secretly sold the genuine one to the dealer for the 60,000 yuan and smashed a fake. By doing so, he not only secured his fortune discreetly but also shattered the greed and calculations of others. The lesson? Revealing unexpected fortune or even hinting at hidden assets can attract envy, false friends, and troublesome requests. When you have little, appearing too comfortable can breed resentment. When you suddenly gain, flaunting it invites opportunists. Keep your financial cards close to your chest. Discretion about your wealth, or potential wealth, is not deception, it's self-preservation in a world where money often distorts relationships. 2. Your deepest emotional struggles and unfavorable feelings. How many relationships have been strained or broken by the weight of shared emotional baggage? While vulnerability has its place in intimate connections, constantly broadcasting your inner turmoil can be counterproductive and even detrimental. Consider the story of a man consumed by heartache, unable to forget a past love. Desperate for relief, he sought out a revered Zen master on a remote mountain, hoping for a way to erase his feelings. He poured out his entire story to the master, holding nothing back. The master listened patiently. When the man finished, the master calmly asked a young monk to bring tea. Looking into the man's pleading eyes, the master produced a small bottle. "This water," he said softly, "can help you forget all your emotions. Do you want to drink it?" The man hesitated. If I drink it, will I truly forget all my troubles? The master smiled gently. Life cannot have joy without experiencing sorrow. Once you have felt deeply, forgetting is not easy. Hearing this, the man recoiled. No, I don't want to forget completely. I just don't want to think about her anymore. The master said nothing more to the man but turned to the young monk. Have you memorized the scriptures today? Yes, master, the monk replied quickly. I never dare to be lazy. How do you remember them so well? The master asked. The monk, puzzled by the sudden change in topic, answered honestly, I think about them and read them often. They just come naturally. Ah, the master nodded. And if I wanted you to forget all these scriptures, how would you do that? The young monk paused, then replied, I don't know, but if thinking about them makes me remember, then perhaps not thinking or reading them anymore would make me forget. The master smiled and turned back to the man. My friend, you seek to forget, yet you tell your story to everyone you meet, even detailing every bit of it to me. Even this young monk knows that to forget something, you must stop dwelling on it. I think, perhaps, you do not truly want to forget her. Perhaps you just feel unhappy now. He continued, affection is a harmony between two souls, not a solitary effort. No matter how hard you try, you cannot change a destiny that is not meant to be. Only by letting go and accepting can your life find peace. If someone is not your destined path, no matter how perfect you are or how much you sacrifice, they will not stay. But if they are, you will meet again, across lifetimes if necessary. The lesson here is profound. Constantly talking about your pain or focusing on past emotional hurts keeps the wound open. Others cannot truly bear the weight of your unique suffering, and repeatedly recounting it prevents you from moving forward. Learn to process, accept, and focus on building your own future, rather than dwelling in the past or seeking endless external validation for your pain. The journey through deep sorrow is often a solitary one. 3. Your secrets and vulnerabilities, your soft spots. Trust is precious, but misplaced trust can be dangerous, particularly when it comes to revealing your deepest secrets and weaknesses. Imagine a crow who befriended a hedgehog. The crow admired the hedgehog's protective spines. The hedgehog, flattered and wanting to deepen the friendship, confided, let me tell you a secret. My armor isn't perfect. When I curl up, there's still a small gap on my belly. If someone blows on it, I feel ticklish and have to uncurl. The crow promised never to tell. But one day, the crow was caught by a fox. To save its life, the crow revealed the hedgehog's secret vulnerability. The fox, grateful, let the crow go and immediately sought out the hedgehog, using the shared secret to overcome the prickly defenses. This simple fable carries a potent truth: don't reveal your soft spots to others, even friends. Your vulnerabilities might seem like minor personal details to you, but in the wrong hands, they can become leverage or weapons. Relationships can change. Friends can become rivals when circumstances shift or interests collide. This principle extends to self-deprecation. The broken window theory suggests that visible signs of neglect, like a broken window left unrepaired, invite further damage and disorder. Similarly, constantly highlighting your flaws or putting yourself down invites others to disrespect you, take advantage, or see you as a punching bag. You might think it lowers expectations or garners sympathy, but it rarely earns genuine respect or opens doors to opportunity. Love and respect yourself first. It's the only way to ensure others do the same. Just as a soldier shouldn't point out their opponent's weak sniper is a bad shot, because they might be replaced by a better one, don't unnecessarily reveal your own or your organization's critical weaknesses to potential competitors. Today's confidant could be tomorrow's rival. 4. Past mistakes and failures. Dwelling on past mistakes is like driving while constantly looking in the rearview mirror. You're bound to crash. Constantly talking about them to others only reinforces the negative narrative and prevents you from being seen for who you are now. Recall the story of the scholar who traveled to the capital for exams, only to be sabotaged and fail. To make matters worse, his childhood sweetheart left him because of his failure. Devastated, he spent his days drinking and wallowing in self-pity. One day, he met a high monk and pleaded for a way to overcome his suffering. The monk didn't offer platitudes. Instead, he told the scholar to follow him for 3 days. During that time, the monk gave him only water, made him chop wood to feed horses, and sleep among the animals at night. By the 3rd day, the scholar was exhausted, dirty, and utterly miserable. He broke down, weeping, regretting the self-inflicted hardship. The monk calmly observed, "Before today, didn't you also make yourself miserable over the mistakes of others? Do not continue to torment yourself over what has already happened." The philosopher Adam Smith noted that no one can truly understand the depth of another's pain. Your deepest suffering, when you feel it down to your bones, is ultimately yours alone. Life, in many ways, is a solitary journey. You cannot expect others to fully grasp your struggles, nor should you rely on their sympathy to heal. The past is a lesson, not a life sentence. Learn from it, leave it behind, and focus on building a better present and future, rather than constantly rehashing old wounds. 5. Constant complaining and grievances. Few things are less appealing and more self-sabotaging than a perpetual state of complaint. Like a small monkey with a wound that keeps showing it off, preventing it from healing, constantly talking about your problems keeps the wound open and festering. The monkey, injured by a branch while foraging, bled continuously. Instead of resting, it showed its wound to everyone it met, seeking pity. Some felt sorry, others mocked, but each time, exposing the wound prevented it from scabbing over. Eventually, it became infected and the monkey nearly died. As the writer Mo Yen wisely put it, don't think the world cares about you. Everyone has their own concerns. Few people truly pay attention to your troubles. When you constantly recount your pain, 20% of listeners might not care, and the remaining 80% might secretly be amused or relieved it's not them. Dragging up the past with complaints only amplifies the sorrow. People's suffering is not uniform. What feels like a mountain to you might seem like a molehill to others. The toughest times must often be navigated alone. Old wounds require self-healing, not public display. Consider the tale of 2 brothers raised by an alcoholic father and a gambling mother. One became a highly successful, responsible man. The other ended up in prison. When asked why he succeeded despite his upbringing, the successful brother said, "Because I had parents like that, I knew I had to strive to be different and build a stable life." When the imprisoned brother was asked why he failed, he said, "Because I had parents like that, I was doomed by their influence." The difference wasn't the circumstance, it was their mindset and whether they chose effort or blame. Complaining isn't just unproductive, it's a path to despair. Only those who refuse to dwell in grievance can find solutions and carve new paths. Abraham Lincoln faced numerous failures, job loss, business failure, political defeats, before becoming president, yet he didn't succumb to endless complaint. Comedian Jia Ling endured years of poverty and struggle, living in a basement and selling her only valuable possession for food, before finding immense success through relentless effort and adaptation, not complaint. Complaining is like pouring water into your own shoes, it just makes the path ahead wetter and harder. Difficulties are one thing, blaming and complaining are another. Choose action over grievance. 6. Unlucky words and negative predictions. Be mindful of the power of your words. Language shapes thought, and thought can influence perception and, some believe, even reality. Careless, negative speech can attract unwanted outcomes. The text provides several striking, almost eerie, anecdotes. A pregnant woman complaining about the burden of twins, joking about giving one away, one baby died after birth. Someone joking about never having been in an ambulance, they were hospitalized for carbon monoxide poisoning that night. A friend joking about no one contributing money after his mother died from electrocution. A week later, his other friend's mother also died from electrocution while working. A factory worker joking that he wished his other hand would be pierced by the sewing machine for symmetry after one was injured, his other hand was injured days later. A social media influencer joking about wanting to sleep under the sea, she later died in a drowning accident. While we can attribute these to coincidence, the underlying principle is that negative self-talk and predictions, even in jest, can foster a negative mindset and potentially influence your actions or perception of events, making you more susceptible to misfortune or less likely to seek positive outcomes. The state of your soul, your inner world, guides your words. And your words, in turn, can shape your destiny. Just as a plant with yellowing leaves likely has root problems, negative speech often stems from an internal state of fear, resentment, or lack. When angry, avoid curses or malicious words towards others, as it's said to plant poisonous seeds in your own life. Karmic consequences may not be immediate, but they are believed to eventually bear fruit. Furthermore, negative words contort your expression and can, over time, physically alter your appearance. While genetics play a role before 20, your demeanor and kindness, reflected in your words, shape your face after. A kind heart and gentle speech contribute to a pleasant, approachable appearance, attracting good fortune and positive interactions. Words are the gateway to fortune and disaster. Proverbs across cultures warn that good words are hard to manifest, while bad words are easily realized. Reckless speech is a source of calamity. If you find yourself having negative thoughts or saying unlucky things, consciously interrupt the pattern. Some traditions suggest saying, she, a sound of dispelling, 3 times to clear the negative energy. Choose your words wisely, they have more power than you think. 7. Your joys, successes, and achievements. While it's natural to want to share good news, broadcasting your successes indiscriminately, especially to a wide audience or to those who are currently struggling, can be perilous. There was a candid businessman who always spoke his mind. When he bought a new villa, he didn't post it online. This was a change. 3 years prior, after drinking at a village party, he had boasted about earning $1 billion in 6 months. Soon after, all the fish in his pond were poisoned and died. The dark corners of the human heart can harbor envy. This is particularly true when people see someone they knew, someone they perhaps considered their peer or even less successful, suddenly achieve great things. As the saying goes, exposing water to the sun makes it evaporate, while keeping it in the shade helps it stay fresh. Similarly, preserving your joy and success requires discretion. Your life is yours, its details are not public property, especially the highlights. Successful, wise individuals often practice restraint and humility, while those on shakier ground may feel compelled to flaunt what little they have. Sharing your joy with the wrong person can transform your happiness into their resentment. People may feel sadness when their friends fail, but they often feel greater sadness, tinged with envy, when their friends succeed spectacularly, particularly if they surpass them. Most people can tolerate the rise of a stranger but struggle with the success of someone close. An beggar doesn't envy a millionaire as much as they envy another beggar who found more money today. What is out of reach inspires admiration, what is within grasp can breed jealousy. Distance, sometimes, is the solution. In Kigo Higashino's chilling novel, Malice, the motive for murder isn't hatred born of conflict, but corrosive envy from a seemingly close friend who couldn't bear the victim's success. The killer confessed, "I hated you because you achieved my dream before me. I hated you because you had a better life than me. I also hated myself for my weakness, my inadequacy, and I poured all that hatred onto you." Few people genuinely rejoice in your success, perhaps only your parents and a handful of truly devoted friends. Most just want validation that your life isn't significantly better than theirs. As actor Wang Zhizhi reportedly said, people need to learn to hide 2 things, their thoughts and their capabilities. 8. Your family's private affairs and struggles. Every family has its own difficult story, is a universal truth. But that doesn't mean your family's story is fodder for public consumption. A woman in her 30s started a new job and, perhaps seeking connection or feeling vulnerable, immediately shared details of her divorce and subsequent remarriage to a much older man with a colleague. She trusted this colleague would keep her confidence. Within days, the entire company knew, and judgmental whispers spread. Her performance was unfairly scrutinized, and even her boss began doubting her capabilities, leading to her resignation. She likely never knew the real reason she failed. Knowing when to keep silent is a crucial skill for any adult. People might feign interest or offer sympathy when you share family troubles, but rarely can they truly help. More often, your personal stories become gossip, twisted and retold for entertainment. Arguments and disagreements are normal in any family, they are part of the journey of understanding and tolerance. The strength of a family unit comes from resolving issues within the family, through communication and shared effort, not by airing dirty laundry to outsiders who cannot offer genuine solutions and may only amplify the negativity. Family should be a sanctuary, a place of unconditional love and acceptance. Building a strong, happy family requires open communication, empathy, and mutual support among its members. When difficulties arise, talk to each other, not to the world. Outsiders can't fix your family problems, and often, they are merely passive listeners who may then spread your story further. What's good news often goes unnoticed, but bad news travels fast and far. Keeping family matters private is a sign of maturity, respect for your loved ones, and protection of the intimate bonds that hold your unit together. The power of prudence. As we've explored these 8 areas, it becomes clear that having less money doesn't just mean financial constraints, it often means increased vulnerability in other aspects of life. When you have fewer resources, protecting your reputation, your peace of mind, and your personal space becomes even more critical. Discretion isn't about deceit, it's about strategic self-management. It's about understanding human nature, the potential for envy, misunderstanding, and exploitation, and choosing your words and confidence carefully. The information you choose not to share can directly influence your opportunities, your stability, and your ability to build a better future free from unnecessary drama and interference. Guard your inner world, your past, your struggles, and your triumphs with wisdom. Sometimes, in a noisy world, silence is indeed our greatest asset. It allows you to build your strength quietly, away from the glare of judgment and the reach of ill intentions. You're now part of the 3% who know these rules. This isn't just advice, it's armor. If you don't want to miss out, follow my channel, turn on notifications, and share this video widely. Your support is the only reason we can research these explosive topics. I wish everyone who liked this video will always be successful in life and soon achieve financial freedom.